Alright, today we're installing coilovers on my 2004 Mustang and we're going to try not to get clapped. Link will be in the description for these Raceland coilovers. Once you got your wheel off, you got to remove your brake calipers, so take out those 2 bolts from the back. You can get away without removing it, but it's just nice to have it out of the way. Alright, I don't know about y'all, but my car is really crusty and everything is seized. So grab your penetrating fluid and just soak everything. You're gonna have to get your bolts that are connecting the shock and then also your sway bar link nuts. Also, don't forget to loosen up any wiring so it doesn't get clapped. Now it's time to remove your sway bar link. You can just hit that top nut with an impact. And then for the bottom one, you're gonna have to use like some pliers or some vice grips or something to grab it so that it doesn't spin as you're taking out that bottom nut. Before you disconnect your shock, you want to get a jack under your control arm just so that it doesn't fall and let the spring fly at you. Time to get those 2 bolts out that are holding your shock. Go ahead and gun those nuts off. You might need a wrench to hold the head of the bolt so it doesn't spin. This is optional, but I supported the hub with a wrench just to keep everything under control. Disconnect your shock from the top under the hood and just don't drop the bolts down the engine bay like I did. Alright, so now you're gonna need to get the spring out, just kind of sus. So let pressure off of this that this drops and then get a pry bar and pry it out. It's kind of scary. This part makes me want to shit myself every single time I do it, but you'll be fine. The spring doesn't even fly out that far. Woo! To get the factory plate off, you have to drill the metal rivets so they're holding it on. Now you can set your new coilovers in there, and mine came with shims, so just get those all ready to go. And make sure that the top is poking up through your new camber caster plates. I also did not record putting those on, but pretty much you feed the bottom plate to the bottom of the car, and then you get the top plates from the top, and then use the nuts to hold them all together. What was easiest for me was to feed the coilover in through the bottom onto the top without the very top plate on, just so I could get it lined up. Then put your plate on, and then tighten everything down. I got shorter sway bar links, but I didn't record putting those in, but you'll need some. Fitment check. Oh my gosh, this is so low. I'm gonna destroy my bumper in a day. There it is. The fronts are on, now we gotta do the rear. So I guess I forgot to record doing the back, but it's pretty easy. You just have to like open the trunk and get the nut off from inside the trunk, and then tightening it is kind of annoying because you have to have someone holding the coilover for you so it doesn't spin as you're tightening the nut. And the back uses a divorced setup just like my parents, and so it's a separate spring from the shock, but it's pretty easy. You just gotta set everything in there and it's good to go. These are also adjustable, which is super easy, and I ended up having to do that because my car was so low that it was like destroying my tires by scraping on the fender, so do not let that happen. Here's a before of my absolute monster truck of a Mustang, and here's an after, so it definitely was worth it. Also, they make your boobies bounce. Alright, that is it for this video. I hope that I helped you get your coilovers on. Huge shout out to Raceland for partnering with me. I'll put the link in the description so y'all can get yourself a set of these coilovers. Also, I got new headlights, check these out. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye, shawties.